Hi guys, this is Rama Subramanian. Welcome to my channel Raman Code Academy. In this video, I'm going to give you an introduction about Scratch programming. Scratch is a programming language and an online community where children can program and share interactive media such as interactive stories, games, and animations. Scratch is designed especially for ages 8 to 16, but it is used by people of all ages. The ability to code computer program is an important part of literacy in today's society. When people learn to code in Scratch, they learn more important strategies for problem solving, designing projects, and communicating ideas. Students are learning with Scratch at all levels, from elementary school to college, and across disciplines such as maths, computer science, language arts, and social studies. Scratch is used in more than 150 different countries and available in more than 60 different languages. You don't need to install any software to start coding with Scratch. Switch on your computer, fire up your browser, and then type scratch.mit.edu into the browser and the page loads. Just click on Create button and create your first game or stories. Okay guys, now I'll take you with step-by-step procedure like how to work with Scratch programming. So first, open your browser, go to this area where you have to type your URL. Type it as scratch.mit.edu and press enter. It will take you to a page like this. See, I already have an account with Scratch and I have my username password provided here, right? If you are a first time user to the Scratch, you will have a screen like this. So first, you will have an option called as Join Scratch, and then you'll have a sign in option. If you are a first time user, first you have to go click on this Join Scratch. You have to give a username and you have to give your password here. Please do remember the username and the password which you give it here is very important. Keep it safe, like don't share it with others, right? And you should remember till the end, right? So for a namesake, I'll try to create something like Raman code. I'll give some password. So whatever the password that you wanted, you can give it. I'm just giving it here, and I'll retype the password here. I'll say it as this username is already taken. So what we will do is we'll try to add 2021 at the last, and see there the password characters must be at least 6. So let me add one more character here. So these are all some basic things that you need to note that when you create an account with Scratch, right? Just simply say it as next, and it'll ask you whether to, so I'll say it as never, like I don't have the habit of doing that. Now it'll ask you what country do you live in. So since I'm in India, I'll just type it as India and I'll give next. So where you have to provide your date of birth. So randomly I'm giving it as October and some year, let's say 90 or let's say 2000, and say it as next. Now here, like you have to provide your gender. Let me give it as male and say it as next. So here, like you have to provide your email ID. If in case, like if you don't have your email ID, you can get your parents' email ID and you can give it here. Since I have my own personal email ID, I'll just use it over here. And after giving it, just say it as create account. Right? So that's it. Raman code 2021 is created. We'll say it as get started. So that's it. So once after the registration is completed, see here, you will find your name here, which means that it by default it gives that username which you have given and password that you have given and it has signed in. And the next thing that you have to note is See here, you'll have confirm your email, right? So a link will be sent to your email where you have to go click on it and you have to confirm your email. So this is not a compulsory to do it, but if you wish to share your project among others, like you have to confirm it with your email. So that's the basic thing that you need to do it. So as of now, I'm not going to do that. I'll simply close this thing. Right. Next, like if you come over here, like you'll have an option called as profile. Let's try to click on it and see what it shows. So it will give my name here. Like if you want to change a photo of yours, you can change your profile picture over here. You can give your basic introduction about you and what you are working with and all. If you are going to share any project to others, like these details also will be shared among them. Now next you will have your my stuff. So my stuff is an area where all your projects which you have created will be listed out. Since it's a new account which I have created now, there is no projects in this list. Once if I start creating a project, you can see all the projects listed out over here. Right. Next, what we'll have is account settings, which you can try to click on it and you can understand all the things that you have. Now directly we'll go, either you can click on this new project over here, or you will have an option called as create. You can go with any of this. Now I'm going to click on this new project over here. Once if you click on it, it will take some time to set up the environment. That's it. So you got it. Now see here, this is the environment in which we are going to work with. This is the environment which will help us to create small interactive stories, games, animations, and all. Right. So we'll see step by step. We'll see one by one so that you can easily understand what it is. Now, I hope you can see a cat image over here. All right. So here, like we call this as a sprite, sprite, sprite. So what do you mean by the word sprite? It's a common term which we use it in game development, right? All the characters which is getting involved in a game will be called a sprite, right? So that's why we call this as a sprite. So now you can see a small white portion over here. So this particular portion which I'm highlighting with the help of this cat is called as stage, 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 right? So this is the area where you're going to have your final output. So whatever the code that you write it, when you execute it, you can see your final output over here, right? So you can adjust the size, like you might feel so the size of this particular stage is too small, you can increase it. See here, you'll have an option here. If you click it, it'll make it too small. If you click it here, you'll have it with this size, and there is another option. If you click it, you'll have it for your full screen. So based on your requirement, you can select any of these particular options. Next, you can see one green color flag here. It's like a run button. So when you click on it, all the code that you have it in this editor will be processed, will be executed, and you can see your output here. So when I say it as run button, you should have a stop. So this is the one which is going to stop your execution. So whenever you want it, you can stop it here. Next, at the bottom, you'll have your sprite name. So by default, this sprite has a name called a sprite1, right? Next, you'll have an option called a show, and you will have two eye symbols here. If you click on one eye, it will show. If you click on another one, it will hide. So if you want to show, you have to click on this. If you want to hide, you want to click on this. As simple as that. Next, you will have something called as size. So this is the one which is going to control the sprite size. See, this is the actual size of a sprite. Now I'm just going to change this as 50. We'll type it as 50, press enter. So the size of your sprite is being reduced. Now let's try to give some bigger value. Let's say it is 200 and press enter. The size of your sprite is increased. Next, you'll have something called as direction, which will help you to change the direction of your sprite that you have it here. Now see, the sprite is pointing towards your right side. That's why the arrow is facing towards your right. If you turn it down, see, your sprite will face down, now to your left, and now to the top, right? So based on your requirements, you can put it. Now I'm going to take it to the default where we can type it as 90 so that it faces exactly to your right. And then this x and y coordinates of this particular sprite, right? So we'll be discussing about this x and y coordinates in detail. In short, let me explain you. This is a value which is going to help you to place your sprite in an exact location where you need it, right? So every time when I move my sprites, you can see the x value and y value is getting changed, right? So we'll be seeing about this x coordinate and y coordinate in detail in my uh, next video. Now, see, when I say it as game, right? So the background of your game will always be colorful. But if you look at it in the default, it will be as white color. If you want to make it more colorful, see here at the right bottom, you will have two round buttons, which is choose sprite option and choose backdrop option. So this choose backdrop option will help you to change the background for your stage. Now I'm going to click on this choose sprite, which will take you to a huge library where you will have lot of background images. So based on the game that you created or a story that you are creating it, you can select the background images. So as of now, I'm just going to take something called as blue sky. Once if we click on it, automatically it will be applied here. You can see the background of your stage has changed. It is more colorful now. Now, let's try to click on this cat and make it stand on this particular road. Now you will have a field where you will have a blue sky with green trees and brown road. On that, like you can see the cat standing on your left side of your road. Right. So this is what is the thing that you need to know. We can move anywhere. We can move the sprite, place it here on the right, or you can place it on the left or anywhere. Okay, so we have covered this part. And see here, like you will have choose sprite option. In case like if you want to add some other sprites, you can click on it. Again, it will take you to another library where you will have lot of sprites. So whatever the sprite that you wanted based on your requirement, you can take it. Like for an example, I'm just randomly going to choose any one. Let me try to choose this parrot, right? So let me try to reduce the size of the parrot by saying it as 50% so that it becomes small, and we will take it and we will place it on the top. That's it. Now come to your left side of your screen where see you will find a lot of colors over here. So these are all the different categories that you have it with blocks, right? See here, like you can see some rectangular bars here, which we call it as block, right? So in each and every category, you will have a list of blocks available, right? So first category that you have it is motion. So now let's try to take this, click here, drag it and put it in the center of your screen. So this is what we call it as block. So in order to increase the size, see here, you'll have a plus sign, which we call it a zoom in, and you have a minus sign, which we call it a zoom out. If you click on the zoom in, see the size of your block will increase. When you click on this minus, the size will decrease. So based on your comfortable zone, you can try to increase it and keep it as you like it. Now, see, this is a block. What do you mean by a block? A block is a set of instruction which we give it to a computer in order to perform a task. Now, what is written here? It is written as move 10 steps. Now, see, we are writing the code for parrot. See here on the bottom, like you will have, see for every sprite, we have to sit and write a separate set of code. See here, when I click on the sprite, you will not be able to see that particular move 10 step block. When you click on the parrot, you will be able to see it. So for making this particular cat move or do some work, you have to write the code cat sprite. On the other hand, like if you want to move or do some work with this parrot, you have to write the logic over here. Right. So first, let us concentrate with this parrot. So see here, we'll say it as move 10 steps. So when I say it as move 10 steps, what will happen? You can guess. Right. Now, let's try to click on this. Every time when I click on it, you can see the parrot is moving. So now you may have a question. Here it says move 10 steps. But every time when I click on it, a parrot is just moving one single step. So you may have a doubt. Why do we have it as 10 steps over here? So the 10, the number which you have it over here is not going to determine the number of steps it is going to take. Rather, it is going to determine the distance what the step is going to have. Now, if you, it is a value which you can change it. Now, let's say it as 100. So when I say it as move 100 steps, see the distance in which the parrot is moving is increased. So if you give it as 50, again it goes to a smaller distance, right? So now let's see what happens if I give some negative values. Now let me say it as negative 50. So it comes in a backward direction. So this is what is the thing that you need to understand it here. Now if you wanted, if you want to have any block, we'll just click on it and we'll bring it here. Let's say like I don't want this block. Simply what you can do is take it and put it on your left side, then it will be removed from your editor. Right. So this is how, like, see, each and every blocks that you have it here will have their unique functionalities with it. So in my next video, we'll see one by one, we'll see the usage of all those blocks that you have it over here. Right.